Hi everyone, thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. Today I want to make a great announcement that my son and I finally received our immigrant visa to the United States. So we will be moving to East Coast, Washington DC area in the States in mid-January. Yay! So I'm so excited, and my husband was so excited too. We had a Zoom meeting and I showed him the visa and we were so happy because he left to the US first in early July, and we were expecting the visa to be done somewhere like September, and then it didn't happen. So then we kind of expected it will be sometime November, but it didn't happen. And finally the date I received the visa was December 21st. It was a really long journey with a lot of paperwork and of course a lot of fees and a lot of mistakes and a lot of resubmitting. So I'm really thankful that my husband, who's really good at details, he has really great attention to details, his efforts, his time, and his help, because mainly he did all the paperwork, and maybe he did 80% of all the work. So without his help and his effort, I wouldn't have been able to receive the visa. So I'm really thankful. Thank you. And the journey was really long. The fact that we have to submit so many documents and find out all the information about where I lived in my whole entire life, and I'm the worst person because I lived in different countries and I moved so many times. So it was such a pain in the neck. And then there was something that we forgot and we had to do it again. And then it was kind of immigration systems kind of fault that it wasn't reflecting, or they misunderstood, so that we had to do not necessarily what is that, important or not needed procedure. We had to do some extra, not because of a fault, but because the system doesn't reflect or something. And that took, every time there's a mistake or some issue, it can take up to like 6 weeks to move forward. So it was like baby step every time. And we finally received an email saying, please come to the US Embassy in Seoul for the interview on December 1st. So we were like, okay, as long as nothing is wrong, everything goes well, then after the interview, the visa should be issued within like 5 working days. So we were like, yay! But I'm so used to living as a foreigner in a different country. So I was like, yeah, I know we want to be really happy, but you never know what's gonna happen. In the very last minute, it's gonna be like, oh, by the way, we needed this, but we forgot. So let's see. So we went to the interview, and we were there for 8:30 appointment, and we ended up staying there. 8:30 appointment, so we got there at 7:30, and we ended up staying there until noon. We were the very last person. I don't know what the issue was. And then we were told that we are missing one document. So we got this thing called blue letter that it shows what I need more, and resubmit again with my passport and my son's passport. So that was a document that I needed from my husband from the States. So he made it and he sent me FedEx me the document, and then I sent along with our passports to the embassy. That was like when was that? 7th, 8th, or 9th. And then December 15th, we got a call from the embassy saying that they need my fingerprints. And I said, you took my fingerprints. And what they were saying is like, no, because my son is a minor, he doesn't need his fingerprints, but he needs my fingerprints. And I said, but you already have my fingerprint data. But they said they cannot copy my digital fingerprint data, so I have to come in again to get another set of fingerprints for my son. And I'm like, okay, I have to go all the way to the Seoul just for my fingerprints for my son. And that wasn't even our mistake, but we have no choice, you know, we have to do it, otherwise we won't get the visa. So I got the phone call afternoon, like 2 o'clock on Tuesday, and because I didn't want to drive in the traffic, I got a hotel on Tuesday night, so I drove when the traffic's not there, and then at night, and then spent the night and went to the embassy and got the fingerprints early in the morning, the earliest 8:30, and then drove back. So that was a little bit of bump, but then, so that was like what, 15th, and then I was waiting. Okay, it should be really final. And then, so the 21st, we got the visa, and I was so happy, and my husband was so happy, and finally we thought we can really relax and relieve. But let's see what's gonna happen at the immigration when we actually go in to the States. I hope everything will go fine. I really cross my fingers. So finally I can feel that, oh, okay, I am going to the States. Until now, I don't know, maybe it was kind of like mixed feeling. I wanted to really think about going to the States, but at the same time, I never know. So I tried to kind of focus on the now and not really thinking about the future, because that makes me anxious. So I was telling myself, you never know yet. So just enjoy life in Korea. So that's what I was doing. But finally, I feel like we can really think about what's happening. So then I think, wow, I'm going to the East Coast for the first time in my life. I mean, I've been to Boston, New York, on Philadelphia for a conference called NAFSA, but I never lived there. The places I lived in the States is Hawaii and San Diego and Urbana-Champaign, Illinois. So, Hawaii, West Coast, then Midwest. So it's really my first time to live on the East Coast. I have no idea. And it's Washington, D.C. area, so that's the capital of the country. So I'm like, wow, what's gonna happen? And like a lot of people tell me that it's exciting, a lot of museums for Ken, and a lot of good restaurants, nice places to shop and stuff. So I'm excited, but at the same time I have a concern about coronavirus. Looking at what's happening in the States, it's so unbelievable how fast it's increasing. And even in Korea right now, we have about 1,000, 1,200, or 800, somewhere between. It's getting more and more strict, and we have less and less mobility. Things that we can do is limited. And I cannot imagine what it's gonna be like to go to that States that has the number one number of COVID infected people. And also looking at how people are responding or reacting this situation. That's so different from South Korea. So that's something that is, to be honest, I have concern, but my husband always, tells me that him and his son are being, really taking precautions, and as long as we stay home and be careful, it should be fine. But another concern is my son's education. He's gonna be have to learn English, even in a regular situation, it's gonna be a tough situation for him because he's gonna be in ESL class and, living in the States for the first time, although he's been to the States on travel when he was smaller. But then the ESL class is gonna be online, and I'm like, wow, how is that gonna be? Because the teacher won't be able to kind of, show and tell or touch and tell or, move things for him or whatever, but it's virtual. So how much ESL can he really absorb? That's concern. But yeah, he's still young, so language wise I know he's gonna be okay, so it's not that too much of worry. Maybe it's a better transition that he can spend time with the family so that he can get used to more, I don't know, English or American environment. But anyway, so if I think about the life in the US, right now I have more concerns than kind of excitement, but it will be nice. The family will be united again. And since my work has been online 100% after COVID, I already know that I have sessions available. Even after I go to the States, I'll be able to work with people in Korea and in Japan. So I'm really blessed, and I'm grateful for my work opportunity. And I'm also looking forward to new opportunities in the States. I recently did 2 different diversity and inclusion or social inequality training programs. So I look forward to really going to see, experience, and learn what's happening in the States in that field. How social inequality or diversity inclusion training sessions or coachings are done, so that I can absorb and maybe I can share that to more, to Asia. So that's one thing. But again, I have very mixed feeling, and sorry, this session is kind of like, I'm all over the place. But in the end, I'm happy that the visas are there and we will be immigrating to the States. Really, really new chapter in our life. So please wish us luck. And today's question for you is, what was the hardest process for you this year? And what was the process that was able to have a good ending for you this year? And I know that we went through so many difficulties this year, but at least I hope that everyone can find one thing that you had a good ending in the process. So I look forward to hearing from you. Please leave your comments or give me messages, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you. Bye.